Goddamn chords, boy. Yeah. Hold on, this goddamn mic. I didn't even get my mic on. Yeah. All right, we live. We good now. Let me turn this down. So, what's good though? That's some. I seen some shit today and this morning. I wanted to tap in on. It's kind of crazy, man. These females, man, they had a hell of a scheme going on. So let's see if we can pull that up real quick. All right, go to my history. These chicks has had a hell of a scheme going on returning merchandise. Like, it's crazy how they was doing it though. Like, it's crazy how they was doing it though. So we're about to get into it. Hold on. Where is this at? No. Here we go. Here we go. Check this. In prison and a two. I didn't want to stop it, but hold on. I'm gonna get on my Instagram and this shit crazy, man. These chicks is crazy.
A woman said to me the other day, "What?"
It's crazy. Everybody talking about these. Everybody got women comments.
In most cases, most men don't complain a lot about what they want. You talking about in most cases, lady, you get in your feelings, you're in denial. Unless you dated some very weak men. If you
This shit crazy right here, man. I don't know. Oh, it's cold. These hoes is cold.
Fine. Our cameras captured some of the defendants leaving court today. The sisters would make online purchases shipped to them through FedEx, then request a return. They would then pretend to return the items using self-service kiosks at the post office to scan the return label, which would then get the refund issued, but then not actually return the merchandise. Then they would go ahead and turn around and return the merchandise in person at a brick and mortar store, getting a second fraudulent return.
They would then take the physical items that had been delivered to their homes and they would travel to different states across the country. We know they went to California, Colorado, Arizona, Florida, Michigan, all over the country to return those in person.
In a search warrant, sir, federal agents seized from the sisters about $500,000 in cash, about $500,000 worth of gold jewelry, 5 Teslas, and over $100,000 in merchandise from the victim retailer, which is not named in court documents, but we're told all of the items are activewear from the same retailer. Now, sisters appeared in federal court today pleading not guilty to the charges. They were released home on the promise that they would return to future court dates and they must surrender their passports. Reporting live in Seattle, Leanne Wynn.
5 sisters now face federal charges for alleged mail fraud. Investigators say they made more than $1 million in fraudulent returns. And I talked to reporter Leanne Wynn about the latest details surrounding this case. And Wynn, thank you for joining us to talk about this story that you've been working on today. And, these are some really serious charges against these 5 sisters, more than $1 million stolen. What's kind of the backstory here?
Well, the federal government is alleging that they had quite an elaborate mail fraud scheme going on. So what they're saying that these 5 sisters allegedly did was purchase, make online purchases through an online retailer. It was over $1 million worth of activewear over a period of about 2 years. They've been doing this apparently since March of 2022. So what they would do was make the purchase online, then start a return. And so then when they got the shipping label back for that return, they would go to a self-serve kiosk at a U.S. Postal Service, scan the return label, but not actually return the merchandise. So once they scan that return label, they would automatically get the money for the return, but they wouldn't actually a mortar store and return the merchandise in person, and then a second return for that same purchase. So what the federal government is alleging is that they did this, defrauded this online retailer for more than $1 million worth of merchandise, again, over the course of 2 years.
So we're talking about a lot of money, and we're talking about some pretty extreme moves that they did to carry this out. I understand a search warrant was served. What was found with that?
Right. So they served a search warrant last week on multiple different locations, and they were able to seize about $500,000 in cash, about $500,000 in gold jewelry, as well as 5 different Tesla vehicles, and over $100,000 worth of merchandise from the victim retailer. Now, at this point, we don't know who that retailer is, but we do know that all of this was happening at the same store. And yeah, that was just the same one retailer. But the federal government was also telling us that these sisters would make flights to different states to make some of these returns. And that I would assume was just to try and avoid detection. So they were going to making flights to multiple different states and then doing multiple different returns in that state. And then they would come back home to Washington State.
What happened in court today?
So 4 of the 5 sisters had arraignment and detention hearings in federal court today. They all pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. And they were also released today. The 4 were released today. Granted, they have to give up their passports. They have certain release conditions that they have to abide by. But 4 of them were released today with the promise, to appear to their future court dates. And then the 5th one will have her arraignment and detention hearing tomorrow. But most of the hearings have been pretty much going the same way. So I would anticipate the same thing that happened today with the 4 sisters happening with the 5th tomorrow.
Certainly something we're going to continue to follow. Lynn, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks.
They got a hell of a case. Ooh, they got a case on their hands. Ooh. Ooh.
Other retailers all over Western Washington, at least 42 stores were targeted.
Tonight, a major win for retailers, law enforcement, and shoppers fed up with prolific thieves caught on camera stripping the shelves.
They stroll in like regular shoppers, then scramble out lugging bags filled and arms full of stolen goods.
These ladies would come in, they would immediately select a number of items, high-value clothing from different retailers, Lululemon, Nordstrom, Macy's, and then they would immediately exit and leave.
In court documents, Bellevue Detective Jeff Christensen detailed their crime spree, hitting Lululemon stores from Bellingham to Bellevue and from Tukwila to Tacoma, as well as stores throughout the greater Portland area, stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of activewear.
We're talking about over $500,000 worth of merchandise. And what that really translates to is increased costs for consumers.
Bellevue police say thieves often sell the merchandise for 30 cents on the dollar.
Oftentimes, the suspects would wear burqas or other baggy clothing that they were able to either hide the items in, bring reusable bags, even garbage bags that they would fill completely full with these items.
Sometimes doing it with regular shoppers just feet away. With every theft, loss prevention officers at Lululemon documented the video, working closely with Bellevue police to identify 3 suspects. 2 of them were arrested last year in Glendale, California. 18-year-old Reality Levins from Renton and 24-year-old Janice Downs, who along with 26-year-old Memory Yearby are accused of stealing $30,000 worth of high-end bags. On Tuesday, Bellevue police arrested Downs and her mother at their home on 223rd Place in Kent. Detectives say they located clothing worn during the thefts, one of the cars used, and 3 assault-style rifles.
What is interesting to note is that the suspects are actually convicted felons, so they're prohibited from possessing firearms.
When Janice, who also calls herself Punchy, made her first appearance in court, the prosecutor detailed multiple counts of organized retail theft.
The first one will be August 8th, 2023, at the Bellevue location for Lululemon in the amount of $4,348.
The state asking for $750,000 bail, arguing that she has multiple prior convictions and is a flight risk, pointing out she had a plane ticket to Arizona for the same day as her arrest.
This is repeated behavior. This is happening again and again. There's no reason to believe that if released, that behavior will change and she will suddenly stop committing those crimes.
Downs' defense attorney arguing that Janice has strong ties to the community.
She's here with a lot of support, so I don't think that she's going to flee, and we would ask that a more reasonable bail on these allegations be ordered. We're asking bail in $10,000.
Judge Rhonda Lawman setting her bail at $250,000, an amount challenged in a surprise appearance.
I just want to remind you of the Affordable Bill Act because she clearly doesn't have a job or anything else of that matter.
That's Janice's mom, Janice Wiley, her co-defendant, who wasn't booked after her arrest on Tuesday because of health issues. She wanted her daughter freed as well.
I understand, the seriousness of the crime, but for property crimes, $250,000, she has a child that she's the sole provider of.
Judge Lawman didn't budge. The high bail and an in-depth police investigation that clearly puts thieves on notice.
This sends a message that if you come to Bellevue to steal things, we're going to track you down no matter where you live and hold you accountable.
The Bellevue police aren't done. Detectives are working on a 4th suspect. If Janice Downs does make that $250,000 bail, detectives say she's also facing charges in Snohomish, Pierce, Whatcom, and Oregon. The feds are also looking closely at this theft ring, and they may file federal charges.
Man, motherfuckers be scheming. That's cold-blooded shit right there, boy. Ooh, they got a serious case on their hands, pimping.
In a KRQE investigation, Ampered shows you the tactic an APD officer accused of using to shoplift from 2 different stores in the city, and how a store employee's attention to detail led to her arrest.
That's Santillanes? Yeah. That's her. That is Santillanes.
2 Albuquerque police officers recognizing one of their own on surveillance footage captured inside a Target store.
So what do you have? Tell us what's right. So I caught her ticket switching through, just reviewing and everything.
Ticket switching, when someone takes the price tag off a cheaper item and puts it on the more expensive one they're buying. The officers are speaking with loss prevention specialist Ty Hunt, who says he frequently reviews surveillance footage to keep an eye on possible shoplifting at the Target on Coors Boulevard in Northwest Albuquerque.
Basically, she just ticket switches personal care stuff.
Hunt's typically tipped off, he tells the 2, when someone buys plastic cups, which cost just 50 cents. The first time Vanessa Santillanes did that, Hunt shows them April 17th. An incident report reveals she saved herself $67.90 with the ticket switching tactic, not properly paying for lotion or mousse. She'd used the 50-cent cups price tags again, Hunt told the officers, at the same store, June 17th. Here she is, caught on surveillance, leaving Target, having swapped price tags, Hunt says, on face cleanser, body wash, and deodorant, stealing $22.87 worth of merchandise.
She also goes between here and Paseo.
On April 30th, surveillance footage shows the officer entering the Paseo del Norte store, where Hunt says she made a $200 purchase, but he pointed out she also gave herself a deal on these two pairs of shoes she's scanning at the self-checkout. They cost $27.99 each, but Santianes' receipt shows she paid just $10 for them. Hunt says she switched the price tags with two pairs of sandals, stealing $35.98.
And how did you get information she was a Albuquerque police officer? So obviously, like I did, type in the name on Google and everything. What I kept seeing was patrolman, second class, and everything, and then Albuquerque police. Okay. So I assumed maybe she was an officer.
A Google search, and Hunt says the off-duty Santianes drove a car with a government license plate to a store in November during what would be the final incident before she was caught. This time, Hunt captured their officer throughout the store, even zooming into her cart where he sees nearly $50 in beauty products. But a records request shows she used the price tags from these four items, worth $5, $3, and $2.80 when scanning the makeup and face cleanser, allowing her to steal $32.98, according to Hunt. In total, he says, Santianes stole $159.73 from the two Target stores.
It's not the most serious case that we have in terms of the dollar amounts involved, but we take it very seriously just because of the breach in public trust for somebody that serves in that role.
Attorney General Raul Torres' office took the case against the APD officer to avoid a conflict of interest with the local district attorney.
Okay, do you want to talk to us or?
Not really.
Let me kind of
What's going on?
When special agents questioned Santianes about the four incidents, she does identify herself in surveillance footage.
Yeah, is that you?
That's me.
This one specifically is on April 30th. You're saying that's you, right?
That looks like me, yeah.
Okay.
But refuses to talk further about the accusations, telling them, quote, "This is crazy. She's been a police officer for a decade, and ticket switching isn't something she'd do."
I don't want to talk about this. I don't feel comfortable talking about this. I don't want to get caught up in something that, I didn't do.
Right.
This isn't something that I would do.
Santianes is facing 4 misdemeanor counts of shoplifting.
This is a pretty, frankly, sad case where you have somebody who has taken an oath to uphold the law, who's been caught and accused of committing criminal violations like this.
Criminal violations AG Torres' office has been working with her police department to stop. A previous KRQE investigation delved into the organized retail crime unit, which started under his predecessor and consists of shoplifting stings across the state. While investigators are typically focused on dismantling groups who shoplift larger ticket items and then illegally sell those, Torres says they can't let petty crimes like what Santianes is accused of go unpunished. He credits detailed work by loss prevention specialists like Hunt with helping them make sure that happens.
Hopefully we can secure a conviction and get the kind of accountability that everyone in the community expects.
Vanessa Santianes resigned from APD in January. The now former officer's police certification is under investigation by the Law Enforcement Certification Board. She's due back in court next month, but this is Santianes' first criminal charge. Ann Perrette, KRQE investigates.
Since taking office in January 2022, AG Raul Torres says he's expanding the organized retail crime unit to include 4 full-time investigators. Right now, the unit has 20 open investigations in 6 different cities across the state.
Damn. These motherfuckers still up some shit. And still up some shit. That's crazy. He was a cop, too. Can't trust these motherfuckers out here. Can't trust them. Everybody either stealing their line out this motherfucker. Ain't nobody keeping it real. I don't know where that went. They either stealing or they lying. Motherfuckers is not keeping it real in 2024. That's just out the
Shoplifting is a crime Albuquerque.
It's out the window. It's stealing out this motherfucker. What? Oakland mayor. Oh, this is crazy. You ready to mayor's crib?
We broke the news this morning, and we've been covering everything that has unfolded over the past 12 hours. This story has been developing all day and all over Oakland. Before dawn, FBI agents raided the Maiden Lane home of Mayor Sheng Tao. Other agents, including from the IRS, raided the Embarcadero offices of California Waste Solutions. The FBI also raided 2 homes on Viewcrest Court and Skyline Boulevard, linked to the Duong family, which runs California Waste Solutions, a major garbage vendor. We have team coverage from reporters spread out throughout Oakland to help you understand the possible link between all of these people and places.
ABC 7 News reporter Cornell Bernard is at Oakland City Hall, where the council is meeting right now to discuss the political reaction to all of this. ABC 7 News reporter Ansar Hassan joins us live with a focus on the Duong family, talking trash and the power and the money that goes with it. But let's get started here with ABC 7 News I-Team reporter Dan Noyes.
Yes, he joins us here in studio to explain what we know so far, Dan.
Well, Amma and Dan, the FBI confirmed only that they carried out, quote, a court-authorized law enforcement activity at the mayor's home. But that was not the only stop for agents today. More than a dozen FBI agents emerged from Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao's house after 4 hours inside. They carried boxes, plastic tubs, and trash bags and left without comment. Witnesses heard a ruckus before 6 a.m. today.
About 6 o'clock this morning, I heard a male voice yelling to open the door, open the door.
Nina Medina happened to be staying in the neighborhood with friends. She's president of the National Latino Peace Officers Association, here for a meeting with the new Oakland police chief.
The federal government doesn't force or obtain warrants into one's residence without probable cause. And when it rises, in my experience, to the level of the federal government, you're talking about some significant issues.
Once the FBI left, I went to Tao's door to check reports that had been kicked in or rammed through. There was no damage to the door or sill. Later, Mayor Tao's partner and father of her 2 children, Andre Jones, emerged with a bag and refused to comment before he left. Law enforcement sources tell me this is a public corruption case with the FBI, IRS, and U.S. Postal Service working together. Agents hit several locations, including the offices of California Waste Solutions. We spotted IRS investigators there and saw these agents leaving with boxes of evidence late in the day. The company was started by David and Victor Duong, who were under investigation by the Public Ethics Commission for funneling money through straw donors to council members, a story first Oakland side in 2020. Sheng Tao allegedly received some of that money. She also traveled with the Duong brothers who funded the trade mission to Vietnam last summer. All this in a week with her recall being approved for a vote.
Oakland is in crisis. The mayor's office is in crisis.
Sam Singer has guided political campaigns and corporations through various types of crisis. He says the future does not look bright.
In the last 24 hours, 40,000 voters turned in signatures to have the mayor recalled. This morning, she wakes up and the FBI is knocking her door down. I don't see how she overcomes this. It's likely that she will wind up having to resign.
It has been a tough week for the mayor with that recall being approved for a vote. We reached out to her office and have not received any sort of comment. She canceled an appearance at a news conference this morning. It will be interesting to see when and how she makes her first appearance in public facing this investigation. Amma?
All right, Dan, thank you so much for a look at that insight. Now, our team has been trying to hear from the city about everything that happened today. New at 6, ABC 7 News reporter Cornell Bernard has a reaction from an Oakland City Council member.
Andre, do you have anything to say?
Mayor Sheng Tao's partner, Andre Jones, had nothing to say as he left Oakland City Hall Thursday following a raid by federal agents at the Oakland home they share and other locations. The news sending shockwaves through the halls of Oakland City Hall, where we were told the mayor's office was temporarily closed for the day. The doors to Mayor Tao's office were locked. Oakland City Council member Carol Five had this to say following a closed-door council session. What are next steps regarding the mayor and her alleged involvement in this federal raid?
Thank you for saying alleged. We don't know what's going on. This is not something that the council was briefed on, that the Oakland Police Department told us about. I don't think that they were involved. So I have very little to say because we have very little information.
Vice Mayor Rebecca Kaplan addressing the rumor her home was also raided, posting on X, nope, not true. The campaign to recall Mayor Tao is demanding that she resign immediately due to the FBI raid. In a statement, the campaign said, while the FBI raid does not prove her guilt in the ongoing investigation, we already have multiple smoking guns indicating Tao's lack of fitness for public office. Oakland Chinatown community leader Carl Chan is upset to hear about the FBI raid and worries it pulls focus from more pressing issues facing the city.
I always suggesting and telling many elected officials, when you're serving as a public servant, you have to be very extremely careful how you are dealing with the public trust.
We made several attempts to reach out to Mayor Tao and her staff, but no response today. In Oakland, Cornell Bernard, ABC 7 News.
Federal agents raided several other homes today, including 2 linked to the Duong family, owners of California Waste Solutions. ABC 7 News reporter Ansa Hassan joins us live from Skyline Boulevard and a home there. He's been there all day gathering information about who lives there. Ansa?
Yeah, Dan, good afternoon, good evening. The investigation here ended more than an hour ago. We saw investigators leave with at least 10 to 15 boxes, 3 computers. They wouldn't tell us what they found, but we do know that U.S. postal inspectors are often involved in financial fraud investigations. Just after 4:30 p.m., U.S. postal inspectors wrapped up their investigation at David Duong's home in the Oakland Hills. No comment on the content of the evidence they found, but it did end an almost 10-hour investigation.
I think anyone who's been around Oakland politics for a while knows about the Duong family. They're very involved. They're prolific donators to candidates who run for council, who run for mayor, Alameda County officials as well.
Justin Burton served in former Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf's office and worked with then City Council member Sheng Tao. He's concerned about a business trip she took as mayor to Vietnam, which he says was paid for by the Duong family. Burton says that may have been a political risk.
The people who are impacted most by today's news are Oakland's residents. They need to know that their mayor is not at the center of a federal public corruption scandal. And if she is part of this investigation, and we don't know all the facts right now, she needs to let her residents know that she's not going to be distracted, and this is a matter amongst the.
Earlier in the day, FBI raided the home of Duong's son, Andy, who lives a few miles away.
I started hearing, this is the FBI, open up, come out with your hands up.
This neighbor, who didn't want to be identified, said she heard FBI agents saying they were delivering a federal warrant. Around 11 a.m., the FBI inspected a Mercedes-Benz registered to Andy Duong, parked outside of this house. 20 minutes later, an unidentified couple was seen leaving in that SUV. Investigators say no one has been home all day and that no arrests have been made. It is still very early in this investigation. Officials say it could be a few days before they have an update. Reporting live, Ansa Hassan, ABC 7 News.
All right, Ansa, thank you.
And ABC 7 News insider Phil Matier joins us now live in studio. Phil, you were out there this morning when the raids first began. I mean, the FBI raided the home and office of a major recycler that does business in Oakland, the mayor's home. What is this all about?
Well, if we take a look at the initials involved, the FBI, the IRS, and the U.S. Postal Service, that points in the direction of financial questions. Sure. We're not talking about guns, we're not talking about drugs, we're talking about that sort of situation. It's not unusual. We have a company here that is doing business with the city. They have an exclusive contract for the curbside recycling. It was given to them under a bit of controversy years and years ago. There have since been questions raised, as Dan Noyes put out recently earlier in the broadcast. What we have here is a relationship question between the mayor and this company. Will we get quick answers? Likely not. That's not the way the feds move. The feds move slowly and methodically, but in this case, rather publicly. Showing up at the mayor's door at 5 o'clock in the morning is sending a message pretty loud and clear.
Let's talk about sending a message. Just yesterday, we were talking about how the effort to recall Mayor Sheng Tao went another step yesterday, calling for her to just resign.
Right.
how is this going to affect that effort? They were already at her house today.
That's a decision the mayor is going to have to make. She has to take a look at the entire situation.
But this will only add fuel to the fire. Obviously.
Absolutely. What it does is, no matter what the outcome of this, innocence or whatever, you are innocent in the eyes of the law until proven guilty. But in the court of public opinion, if the FBI shows up at your door, a cloud descends upon you. And between now and when she's facing that recall election, this is not going to be resolved. She is going to be constantly under investigation, whether anything happens or not. And the feds showed that. They did this much the same in San Francisco. We just finished up a couple of years of corruption investigations, scandals, and convictions that included people at department heads having questionable relationships with companies that the city had contracts with. So here we go again. If you're cleared, it's not going to be anytime soon.
What does it mean for the city of Oakland? Because City Hall was raided too.
This is it's very bad timing for the city of Oakland. We had the mass shooting yesterday in Oakland, ongoing problems with crime. We have a budget deficit that is looming that is quite large. There are a number of areas where Oakland really needs leadership and decisive action, and this is just going to further cloud it. And it's not just Oakland. Also, we're having a recall of the Alameda County District Attorney on top of this. But this is Oakland. It becomes more than political. It becomes actually running the city. I cannot remember the last time a sitting mayor.
Okay. Much more to come, obviously. This came out of the blue as a bombshell for most people today. Thank you, Phil, very much.
And it's clearly an ongoing investigation, so we will be staying on it. Stay with ABC 7 News to learn the latest about what's happening with the mayor and how it will affect the city of Oakland. We'll continue to update ABC7news.com and the ABC 7 Bay Area app.
That's crazy. See what's going on with the
circumstances doesn't kind of put us in this characteristic now. You know, this is my ruling on this particular portion of the transcript. If other things come up, or if the door is opened up by any other witness or any counsel's inquiry about this, the court will go back and take a look at that, okay? But right now, I'm going to exclude it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
The next one, may I move on?
Yes, yes, sir. Let's just any other argument by him having anybody else. Okay, go ahead, sir.
436, line 23, page 437, line 15, totally short passage. That's a portion of the interview where Mr. Copeland is talking about statements made by Mr. Williams' father. Talks about what the father either told him or what the father says he knows, what the father thinks about him, Mr. Copeland, talking to the police. Obviously, Mr. Williams' father is not part of the indictment. I don't believe the state's going to allege that he is an unindicted co-conspirator. The relevant portion, if we start at line 23, page 436, just to give the court a flavor of what we're talking about, when Mr. Copeland says, line 23, and this comes on the tail end of the detectives asking Mr. Copeland about whether anyone has an issue with him talking to the police, whether they've ever asked him when he's talking to law enforcement. So Mr. Copeland starts with line 23 saying, somehow Thug's daddy, he be with Kente and them a lot. Thug's daddy told me out his own mouth, like he's connected. You know what I mean? I don't know who he's connected with, so you get all this information. You get a lot of information. You know what I mean? He said it out of his own mouth, and he like, you know what I mean? He knows what's going on. That, I'm gonna say N-word, because I think we've been going around that word for free. That N-word, and everything, that's what he told me before beef, like, and when he said all that, I thought he was just talking. And when I came to Metropolitan, what's the name? He was looking at me crazy. I mean, and then from that day on, been here talking to the police a lot. You feel me? When I was the police, I wasn't telling them about what I should have been told them. I was telling them about what people are doing to me. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where it ends. That whole portion is really what Mr. Copeland is relaying to detectives either what he heard from, what he knows of, or things said by Mr. Williams' father. Totally irrelevant and certainly hearsay. And so, for no other reason other than that it's hearsay, or that's irrelevant, I'd ask it to be extracted or excluded.
All right, stay.
I don't know what it goes to.
Okay, Madam.
Your Honor, I think you need to continue to read the rest of that page, because the portion that Mr. Adams just cited is not out of context with what happens on the rest of the page, Your Honor. So if you continue on, starting at line 16, he says, I didn't want to tell them about my so-called friends at the time. But in the way he was saying, like, I talked to the police a lot, you know what I mean? Like, he knew I wasn't going to tell, but he knew I was talking to him. So I don't know how he get his information. But when he said that, I thought he was just talking at the moment, trying to scare me up or whatever. And so I think that is the most salient line, is that we're not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, which is whether or not Mr. Williams' father has connections in the streets, whether or not Mr. Williams, that's how he gets his information. But the effect on Mr. Copeland's state of mind and the effect on him as the listener, hearing whatever it is that Mr. Williams was saying to him, that's how he interpreted whether or not people knew he was talking to the police and what he was disclosing to the police. And so I think that you have to read all page 436, beginning at line 18, in conjunction with going all the way from page 437 to line 24. So we're not offering it for the truth of the matter of whether or not Mr. Williams Sr. is connected with anyone, but the state of mind of Mr. Copeland as to why he did certain behaviors, why he was concerned about who knew and what was being disclosed to the police.
A lot of people telling their case.
And again, this goes back to Mr. Copeland's of being found out that he had been talking to the police about the homicide of Donovan Thomas.
Well, it really doesn't go to that. You know, it's a question. And what the police, what the detectives are asking Mr. Copeland is whether or not anyone knew or asked him whether he was talking to law enforcement. Right?
So specifically Thug and Kante.
Right. Yes. If you look at line 8, I think the course of line 18.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you ever been questioned by Thug or Kente or anyone else as far as you, have they ever asked you, are you talking to law enforcement? He says not Kente, but Thug. And then we pick up from what I noted. So it certainly is hearsay because Mr. Copeland is opining, he is giving his opinion about whether or not, or asking whether they have asked him about talking to the police, and this is why he thinks so. He talks about what Mr. Williams' father said specifically, what he drew from that, what his opinion was of it. It's really not about the effect on Mr. Copeland, because he doesn't really talk about, well, because Mr. Williams' father said this, I did this. You know, he's really just talking about what Mr. Williams' father said and what he grasped from that, what his opinion was of it. That's not the same thing as the effect on the listener. Right? That's simply his opinion. There's nothing there to say. As a matter of fact, even if you look at the last line, state, that's the last, that's line 23 on page 437. Actually, it's last 22. He says, he starts saying, I don't know how he get his information, but when he said that, I thought he was just talking at the moment, trying to just scare me up and whatever. Right? It doesn't say that he scared me. It doesn't say that, you know, I did this as a result of what that hearsay statement was. It just says what the person said and what he opines the person was thinking or trying to do. And so it is hearsay. And the truth is, it is being offered for, the state wants it in for the truth of the matter asserted. But it doesn't really go to anything. It's just his opinion.
Your Honor, but that's the key point right there. It is what Mr. Copeland thought as to why he is concerned about people finding out if he snitched or not. So whether or not, again, truth of the matter asserted is that we want the jury to believe that he's connected. I don't know or care if the jury believes if Mr. Williams is connected or not. What the state wants the jury to understand is that this conversation that he had, that Mr. Copeland had with Mr. Williams, informed what he thought about if people are going to know whether or not he told police about the crime, which is the murder of Donovan Thomas, and his concern about that. Truth of the matter asserted would mean that I want the jury to believe whether that Mr. Williams was connected, that I want the jury to believe that Mr. Williams told Mr. Copeland he could change his identity. I don't know if he can change his identity or not. That is not what the state is offering it for. That is offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, that Mr. Williams could actually go and change his identity. I don't think Mr. Williams works for FBI or any other agency that could do that. So that's not what we're offering it for, Your Honor. We're solely offering it about Mr. Copeland's the effect that this conversation had on him and the fact that he was disclosing a murder to the police.
So, if what they wanted in for are the things they've just said, they want the jury to know that Mr. Copeland is concerned about his name being out there or him being labeled a snitch, or that he is talking to law enforcement. Then it's cumulative because they've already got that. There's already been testimony. I think the jury's already seen a portion of a statement where Mr. Copeland is talking about he doesn't want to be known as a snitch, that he didn't want any paperwork with his name on it. You know, so there's been testimony about that. You've already let that in, right? But what we're talking about here is hearsay, something that Mr. Williams' father purportedly said to Mr. Copeland. And, you know, I'd understand, I would go with them, with their argument, if the transcript continued on and Mr. Copeland said, and, you know, after he said that, I was, you know, that made me really think about whether or not, you know, I was being labeled as a snitch out there in these streets. Those are my words, obviously. I'm giving an example.
Yes, yes, sir.
But it doesn't say that, right? So he's opining on whether or not talking to the police, and based on what the hearsay statement is from Mr. Williams. But we've already got that. It's cumulative, and so we don't need this hearsay to add to the evidence that's already been admitted.
And Your Honor, I understand that Mr. Adams keeps saying it's hearsay. It is not. And the fact of the matter is it's not cumulative, because the fact that, and especially in this part of the interview, he is telling a different set of detectives this information. He's actually talking to some IA detectives about information that's not going to come in at this point regarding Officer Beebe. And they're asking him and trying to understand, why are you coming forward now? What is your purpose? And he's beginning to tell them again what he's consistently said in this interview about his concern. And that is important, again, when Mr. Copeland is saying he made all this stuff up in court in 2024, everything I made up, I made it all up. They get to see that his biggest concern was being labeled a snitch. That was one of his biggest concerns in this interview.
I understand that, Ms. I do. I just don't think that this particular section drives home that point. I do agree with Mr. Adams. I think that it's cumulative, and it's and it may be the relevance of it is because it doesn't go. It really does not go to Mr. Copeland's fear in this particular circumstance. It doesn't. I think there are some other, or him talking about the police, or talking about speaking to the police and his concern being a snitch. I don't think it goes to that. I think he's just communicating third-party information from Mr. Williams' father, and it's not really kind of relevant for the purposes, at least in the court's opinion, as to as to this particular issue. Having said that, I'm going to exclude it. But again, if somebody opens the door up as to it and lays a foundation as to it, then I may revisit my decision on that. Okay. But right now, I don't think the conversation between Copeland relating about what Mr. Williams' father told him is relevant.
Well, Your Honor, while the state will just ask for continuing objection, we
Yes, ma'am,
understand
you
the
can have it.
We don't believe that it ends at 15 then. We believe that any information regarding any hearsay statements actually stops at line 8
Line 8 of what page, ma'am?
of page 437.
Okay, well, will anybody else just have any other discussion about that particular edit? If not,
So what y'all boys do? I peep y'all
and
on
Ms.
that.
Hilton, if you would give us the corresponding audio visual time from 436 line 23 to page 437 line 8.
It'll probably be around 432.50
432.50?
to 433, approximately 26.
All right. Okay.
We've got a lot of agreements coming up on the next few.
Okay, but Mr. Weinstein's got that on Bladder's full look. So I've just been tracking the time, and he just usually kind of, inserts himself right in there. So I'm going to preempt that, Mr. Adams. Can we take 5 minutes, please? Okay, all right. We'll be in recess. All right, thank you.
Yeah, man. They're trying to get done, man. Trying to get thug life. Shit. That shit ain't no joke. Trial, motherfucker, man. Trial is a motherfucker, man. Especially when you got that many motherfuckers telling on your ass. Shit. He got a lot of people telling. What?
Boy E, they got a new hit, y'all. Gunslingers. Make sure y'all check it out. The link will be down in the comment section. Never broke again.
Like what is King Tank, aka Dirt Tank. Gunsling. I'm on my mind, I've been a mother shooter, like mother Ruger. That chopper is gonna do y'all.
Life is what happened to Fulio yesterday. We're not going to allow you to just arbitrarily run around and spray bullets into people's houses and cars.
The sheriff in Jacksonville issuing a warning to those looking to retaliate
following the fatal shooting of an up-and-coming rapper. Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Benson.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. Officials here are also on high alert as they search for the gunman who opened fire on the singer and others inside a parking lot of a Tampa motel. Charles Jones, whose stage name is Julio Fulio, was gunned down over the weekend at the Holiday Inn off McKinley Drive. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur is live at the scene with the very latest for us. Georgia.
Jen and Josh, officials are worried the news of this rapper's death will not be taken lightly in the streets. Jacksonville police fear that rival groups could retaliate. Take a look here at the neighboring hotel. The aftermath of the shooting is still here. A window is boarded up and 2 bullet holes pierced through the wall and pole here at this hotel. Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters is expressing concerns after an up-and-coming rapper was shot while visiting Tampa.
These groups, I won't name them, they know who they are. We're not going to tolerate any retribution, any revenge.
This is Julio Fulio, an up-and-coming Jacksonville rapper who was visiting Tampa, Florida to celebrate his 26th birthday, but it was cut short by gunfire. A black car riddled with at least a dozen bullet holes surrounded by crime scene tape. A hotel worker who did not want to be identified on camera describes the chaos.
The man was bum rushed, shot at. Bullet holes ricocheted off of the building and off of our pillars, busted one of our windows.
It happened just before 5 a.m. on Sunday morning at the Holiday Inn. Jones died at the scene. 3 others were injured. Jones's longtime attorney, Louis Fusco, says the rapper was ambushed after relocating to the hotel after being kicked out his Airbnb.
They all jumped out the car except for one man, and 3 were being pursued. 1 ran into the other hotel branch bleeding out, and while the other 2 continued to run off.
Prior to the shooting, the rapper invited fans on social media to celebrate at a pool party. Comments from fans on the rapper's social media page a week ago say, quote, "Don't die, Fulio," and quote, "It's going to get shot up." Fans warning the rapper not to make an appearance in the city because it could lead to violence.
I've never seen so much devaluing of human life. You know, it's like it's fun, and they talk about it in rap videos and.
And again, police are still searching for the parties involved in this case. Given that it is a high-profile person, police are heavily relying on tips from other people to help solve this case. Reporting live in Tampa, Georgia MacArthur, 8 on your side.
Let's get into it, man. Your boy Young and Ace got the internet going crazy right now, man. Ever since it was confirmed that Julio Fulio was shot and killed in Tampa, Florida, ATK, all the ops, Young and Ace, they've been doing a big one. And they've been trolling. And what you expect? Y'all already know Julio Fulio was the troll god. I'm talking about he the kings of all trolls. That boy went to a grave site, made posters of dead ops, made a song called When I See You Laid There, and sung the song to these guys.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's the best part. Happy birthday, best poster ever. Video shoot, birthday. Them my brothers, they had died. Appreciate it though.
Okay.
And their birthday, so I'm trying to like.
I'm talking about ain't nobody went out their way to disrespect the ops like Julio Fulio. I don't care what city or wherever they from. He made it his business to be disrespectful. Young Ace, he dropped the song and the visual of Do It. Basically saying that he tell his goons to do it. He get the call, do it. They with their baby, do it. They with their girl, do it. They with their mama, do it. He dropped the video at 6 o'clock. And the last time I checked, it was number 2 trending. But that ain't it. A lot of people feel like this song was already in the clutch because he knew Julio Fulio was gonna be taken out. A lot of people feel like This right here was already planned. But that ain't it. It's a tweet that's going around. And it's alleged to be made by Young and Ace. A post and delete. And it says, that boy going back the same day he came in. 7:20 p.m., June 23rd, 2024. It had 68,000 views before it was deleted. Now, we all know that Fulio's birthday was on the 21st, but he was celebrating it on the 23rd. So maybe Young and Ace just got it mixed up if he is the one that made this post and was thinking his birthday was on 23rd. But it says that boy going back the same day he came in. Crying emoji. And somebody say, oh yeah, Ace made that call. Because in his song that he dropped at 6 o'clock after he heard Fulio lost his life, a clip in that song say he got the call. They told me they got the drop. He told them to do it. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. This is all for entertainment purposes only. I don't think Young and Ace had nothing to do with it, gang. Because I don't think he would come out and just be dropping this right here, especially this song, and he told him to do it. But who knows? You know, this young generation, they've been crashing out lately. But let's get into this song called Do It by Young and Ace. And we ain't gonna get into the whole thing, but I just want to give y'all a little taste. Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free. Do it for me. Hey, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, man. I ain't gonna try to be too hyped up because y'all know how I get when I be reacting to these songs, man. But let's check it out.
Catch his ass and do his ass, you know he finished.
Catch his ass and do his ass. You know he finished. You know he finished when they catch him and do him, man. Damn. Ace, I hope you really made this song. I'm talking about like days and weeks. Gang, just straight up. Flip his ass and hey, that boy got a different little flow too. I'm kind of feeling it. All my niggas get active jumping cars. We all in traffic. So now it sound like they finna go on the drill, gang. It sound like they finna go on the drill because he let us know out front, like, they done flipped some egg, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they done murked something. So he say all his goons, like, you know what I'm saying? They own that. They with it. So they done jumped in traffic. Let's see where they go.
Ride dirty with a dirty weapon. Spin the block, we bitch shit, it's like we playing Madden. Come here.
Spin the block, we blissing it. It's like we playing Madden. So I told y'all he taking us on the drill. So they done jumped in traffic. They done spent the block. They blitzing it. It's like they playing Madden. You know when they say they sent the blitz, like they just on go. They going. They going. So now they done ran down on the ops. They blitzing it. It's like they playing Madden.
Madden's fucking through the Drake away, got a bite on it's been through it. Fuck.
Madden up, he threw the Drake away. It got a body on it, been through it. So he said he had to throw the Draco away, man. After they did their little drill because it got a body on it. Somebody done came up missing. Dead. Soul gone. Damn. I just don't understand. Like, we only 32 seconds into the song and they already done did the damn drill. Like, motherfucker already dead. They already done did a drill and threw the Draco away. Like, this is just crazy. All in 32 seconds. I don't even call him by his name. I call him niggas little do it. Do it. Hey, what? Do it. Just go do it. What up? Do it. Do it. He said they called the phone. They told him they got the low. He told them, do it. Is this confession? Or this just entertainment purposes? Because the internet feel like he's confessing. I done seen 4, 5, 6 videos. I ain't seen them, but I seen the titles of them. But they saying like this song right here is he expressing himself He explaining to the real how this situation went down.
He just rapping.
I ain't spend shit, it's on site if we into it. I'm starting to believe Ace.
Stop the cap.
At first I thought, he was a 50% chance of being, cat rapper. This shit looking like 99%. He with his bitch, do it. With his mama, do it. Ooh, wait, this bitch dangerous. If you catch the op with the baby, do it. If he with his mama, do it. If he with his chick, do it. Like, bitch, just do it. No matter who he with, just do it. Ace, you need to sit your ass down, gang. I ain't gonna even lie to you. You need to sit down, Ace. Money make a nigga do it. 7 days a week around this bitch is spinning. Say money make a nigga do it, just do it. 7 days a week, they around that bitch just spinning. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm beefing with a nigga and they spinning on my block 7 days a week, man, listen, bitch, it's time to, we need to talk. We need to talk, bro. Cause goddamn, you spinning every day. Like, I can't, every day, like, we need breaks. Like, give a nigga some time to recruit. Like, hold on, shit. I can't do it. Nigga spending on me every day. Like, you ain't gonna wait a day. Like, you gonna spend every day.
I got kids. Even though I don't take care of them, but goddamn, they can see me every day.
Man, nah, I ain't with it. Any day this week, I bet a nigga come up missing. So when he wrote this song, he already said, at any given day, a nigga gonna come up missing. Nigga gonna come up dead, gang. Flatline. Ain't breathing. Soul gone. Ace, you need to show proof when you wrote this song. Cause if you don't, your ass might be going to jail, gang. Ops be laughing and making they little diss songs, and next thing you know, be bearing the bitch. Ace. Yeah, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna react to no more of this right here, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Do It by Young and Ace, man. That boy already got 1 million views in 11 hours, man. 1 million views in 11 hours, man. Just do it. Don't even, just do it. With his girl, do it. Yeah, with his mama, do it. Do it. Bitch, just do it. Damn, man. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what you think about this situation. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. It's free. Do it for me. Ace.
Stop the cap.
At first I thought, he was a 50% chance of being, cat rapper. This shit looking like 99%. He with his bitch, do it. With his mama, do it. Ooh, wait, this bitch dangerous. If you catch the op with the baby, do it. If he with his mama, do it. If he with his chick, do it. Like, bitch, just do it. No matter who he with, just do it. Ace, you need to sit your ass down, gang. I ain't gonna even lie to you. You need to sit down, Ace. Money make a nigga do it. 7 days a week around this bitch is spinning. Say money make a nigga do it. Just do it. 7 days a week, they around that bitch just spinning. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm beefing with a nigga and they spinning on my block 7 days a week, man, listen, bitch, it's time to, we need to talk. We need to talk, bro. Cause goddamn, you spinning every day. Like, I can't, every day, like, we need breaks. Like, give a nigga some time to recruit. Like, hold on, shit. I can't do it. Nigga spinning on me every day. Like, you ain't gonna wait a day. Like, you gonna spend every day.
I got kids. Even though I don't take care of them, but goddamn, they can see me every day.
Oh, man. Nah, I ain't with it. Any day this week, I bet a nigga come up missing. So when he wrote this song, he already said, at any given day, A nigga gonna come up missing. Nigga gonna come up dead, gang. Flatline. Ain't breathing. Soul gone. Ace, you need to show proof when you wrote this song. Cause if you don't, your ass might be going to jail, gang. Ops be laughing and making they little diss songs, and next thing you know, be bearing the bitch. Ace. Yeah, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna react to no more of this right here, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Do It by Young and Ace, man. That boy already had 1 million views in 11 hours, man. 1 million views in 11 hours, man. Just do it. Don't even just do it. With his girl, do it. Yeah, with his mama, do it. Do it. Bitch, just do it. Damn, man. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what you think about this situation. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free. Do it for me.
Wait, damn, you can't get a break.
We gon' eat, then I pass our stacks on GP. Jamie, where you at? How to slide, I tell you how to drive.
The suspect arrested in connection to the shooting of Memphis rapper Young Dolph has now been released.
WMC Action News 5, Jericho Phillips live with the reason Corey McClendon was let go. Morning, Jerry.
Oh, like, you don't understand, like, the situation with Yo Gotti. Like, we don't even supposed to be doing it. Like, I'm finna break it down to you.
Yeah.
Like, all right, in Memphis, right? It's two sides, like more than two sides, but he from North Memphis. You know what I'm saying? North side of Memphis. I'm from South Memphis. It's a hood in South Memphis. Walker Homes, we don't get along, period, with that side.
You expect me to climb the same shit as all. That shit there never work. We done put in several work. Now my cheers by Dusky Vault. You the only one that took that fucking loss. All that secret smoke got me pissed off. Head told me to chill. I'm like, hell.
No, soon you leave.
I mean, y'all had took the streets by storm, like for real.
Yeah, still got the streets.
Y'all got a lot of like so. Walker Home is where it started, type shit, right?
Well, yeah, that was kind of blew a bit. Walker Home.
Over the weekend, I was sent a screenshot of an alleged indictment on a platform called Reddit. And let me just say this. As I was doing my research to confirm this indictment, I'm going to be on record saying this. Reddit is either the feds or someone who simply in this case had leaked part of the indictment. And trust me, you'll later find out in this video why I came up with that conclusion. Now, this indictment has some bold allegations. One is the fact that a cooperating witness with the initials as the same initials as a big-time rapper from that neighborhood, who so happens to own his own record label, which narrowed down the list and had close ties with the people that was allegedly indicted, which we'll later discuss. But it get deeper. Of course, some of this stuff was public and raps from both sides, which we'll later break down in order. But this one little screenshot also gave some details that the public didn't know, especially if you're not from Memphis. These led to other situations that was briefly talked about in raps from various artists that's now making sense to the mass audience. Now, the first thing I had to do, fam, was confirm who these people are, at least on that screenshot, and make sure they was arrested to see if there's any truths to this new indictment. Now, to say the least, only one of the two people that was mentioned in that indictment is arrested. Plus, that indictment was sealed. So I'm gonna let you know this now, fam. As I did my research to confirm more information, which we'll later discuss, it's important that you guys know there's only one real reason that part of the indictment was released. So it's important we stay non-biased and present the facts like we always do. So before we go over this one, remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. Fam, as mentioned at the very beginning, I was given a screenshot of an alleged new indictment out of Memphis. And on that screenshot of that indictment, it had the last name of a man, who we'll later discuss. But it also talked about another man who go by the name of Kenneth Mason, and also known by his rap stage name, BEO Lord Kenny. BEO Kenny is a talented artist who recently signed to QC. But according to that screenshot of that indictment, Memphis has an alleged gang called Young Mob that's comprised of 8 original members who represented nationally recognized gangs, including the Bloods, Crips, Gangster Disciples, and Vice Lords. The alleged leaders of that organization has been identified as Lackland, the last name of a man we'll later discuss, and Kenneth Mason, also known as Lord Kenny and BEO Kenny. But when I recently checked the page of BEO Kenny, he home and posting his music stand out the way. So the next thing I had to do is find out who is the other guy that was only identified by his last name in the screenshot. Of course, I had to use the clues presented, which was his association. And of course, without proof, other people was already saying it was him, a real respected Memphis rapper from Walker Homes, who also did 9 years in jail. And in fact, his second to last post was him celebrating being home for 3 years. Turns out with the clues that was presented, I was able to find his old Facebook page that had his first and last name, Brian Lackland, aka Stupid Duke. In 2011, he had a shirt posted on his Facebook that said Young Mob CEO. So now we had him identified. This person, who according to this alleged indictment, as we mentioned, is top of the command alongside BEO Kenny. So I wanted to find out for myself, was Stupid Duke really arrested or home just like BEO Kenny? After checking out his info using his name on Pacer, I can confirm he was locked up alongside his sister. His sister name is Ebony Cobb. They both been arrested since June 10th. Now, the United States has sealed the indictment of Stupid Duke. So that's the real reason I checked out the profile of his sister. But they sealed hers, which I'm assuming is because it's an open case, which is not a good thing for the others that's being mentioned. So the fact that he arrested and that screenshot of that alleged indictment was put out goes back to my original point, fam. That's either the feds or someone in that case and put that out to the public. Now, on this indictment, the screenshot, it seems it talks about a record label owner whose close ties with the alleged defendants and states that this investigation was initiated in response to a series of homicides and aggravated assaults that arose from a long-standing dispute between Lackland and a person known to investigators and identified hereon by initials DW, the founder and owner of a music label. Now, just so we're clear, DW is also the initials of Moneybagg Yo government name, Demario White. And of course, Lackland is Brian Lackland, aka Stupid Duke. But this alleged indictment go on and say that the animosity between Lackland and DW escalated while Lackland was incarcerated for attempt first-degree murder. And after his release from prison on April 21st, 2021, it go on and say that Lackland publicly criticized and disrespected DW on various social media platforms and music videos. Subsequently, Lackland was shot in the front of the Magic Barbershop, allegedly by members of Notch Back Gang, which is also known as KSBG, a criminal gang closely affiliated with DW. Now, to put things into perspective, the last sentence we read in that alleged indictment is correct, based on public information both artists put out. Now, Moneybagg Yo is allegedly from Walker Homes in Memphis, as well as BEO Kenny, and also Stupid Duke. Now, in 2017, Moneybagg Yo had signed to Yo Gotti, but 7 years prior to that date, in 2010, Stupid Duke was arrested for shooting a Yo Gotti concert with other members from Walker Home, or allegedly the mob. And at that time, Memphis police had arrested a suspect in a fight and multiple shooting, allegedly involving Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. The Boo Dirty is also from Walker Homes. Now, this incident happened in the parking lot of a nightclub called Level 2 in 2010 during the Thanksgiving holiday in November. More than 11 people, including the rappers Yo Gotti and Boo Dirty, were wanted for questioning in connection with the incident. Here's the thing. While police was responding to another nightclub shooting on that Wednesday night in Whitehaven, Memphis police had apparently found one of the suspects they were trying to track down and wanted in connection for the incident, which allegedly involved the rappers Yo Gotti and OG Boo Dirty. And guess who that was? Stupid Duke, just 20 years old at the time. Reports that the Shelby County Sheriff's Office detectives helped the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force arrest Brian Lackland, as we just mentioned, 20, and another man as they were getting ready to leave the area of the reported Whitehaven shooting. Stupid Duke, a.k.a. Brian Lackland, was charged with aggravated riot in the November incident in Yo Gotti concert. He was a passenger, while a guy named Michael, 26 years old, was the driver. The two was driving a black Dodge Durango that were leaving the parking lot at 1232 East Shelby Drive near Elvis Presley. After searching that vehicle, police found the stolen firearm loaded, a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson, and small plastic bags of Xanax, hydrocodone pills, and marijuana. But it's something I want to point out after we realize the facts of that case. It's crazy to know that the only guy that was arrested with Yo Gotti is the same guy who was arrested for shooting the Memphis legend Young Dolph in L.A. May he rest in peace.
The suspect arrested in connection to the shooting of Memphis rapper Young Dolph has now been released.
WMC Action News 5, Jerica Phillips live with the reason Corey McClendon was let go. Morning, Jerica.
Well, good morning, Andrew and Felicia. We are learning new information about 43-year-old McClendon and this associated shooting. We know that he was released after the Los Angeles District Attorney said that they did not have enough evidence to hold him. And so, again, he has been released from jail this morning. And so we are working to get more information about the shooting. We know that McClendon was detained shortly after the broad day afternoon outside a Hollywood hotel. McClendon, who had been held on a $1 million bail that he didn't have to pay, was released Thursday evening. McClendon has prior drug and theft-related convictions here in Memphis. Now, 32-year-old Young Dolph reportedly got into a fight with 3 men Tuesday and was thrown to the ground when one of the assailants pulled out a gun and shot the rapper multiple times. Prosecutors are asking for an additional investigation before a decision is made on whether or not to file criminal charges. Now, McClendon does have a close association with Yo Gotti, rapper Yo Gotti, and I was just reading the LA Times. They actually mentioned Memphis, saying that Shelby County Sheriff's deputies tell them that some recent shootings here in Memphis could be connected to this whole feud between rapper Yo Gotti and rapper Young Dolph. So this is a developing situation that, of course, that we are following. And of course, we will give you more information as soon as we learn more. Reporting live, Jerica Phillips, WMC Action News 5.
As you can see, fam, that man was identified as Corey McClendon. Now, I'm sure after watching that clip, that puts even more things in perspective. That's for another story, but understanding. Now, that's why Moneybagg Yo had a falling out with his hood and the people in it by signing to Yo Gotti just 7 years later. Now, during this time, Stupid Duke is in jail serving 9 years, but Moneybagg Yo is signed to Yo Gotti and making more music. And then he decided to put out a track which was aimed at Stupid Duke. Moneybagg Yo mentioned sending Stupid Duke money while he was in jail, and that is up because he heard he went against
the tattoo hit him up. How you talking shit behind jail walls? I just sent you some money, huh? Fuck me up.
But Stupid Duke will respond. Track title Perfect Timing as well. Moneybagg Yo diss. And at the very beginning of the song, he explained why they had a falling out, mentioning he did a song with the ops and made the mob look bad.
You did a song with the ops, nigga. It was so hard and he made the mob look bad.
Now at this time when dropping that song, Stupid Duke is serving his 9 years. Apparently with that indictment, he was one of 6 people who broke in a man's apartment, robbed him, and then after realizing he was cooperating, he went to go shoot him. Now Moneybagg Yo briefly spoke on this situation on the Honorable Platform Vlad in one of his early interviews.
This is 100% like what I want to do, how I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
This how I'm giving it to you all the way raw. You know what I'm saying? You
Straight
gonna
like
feel it
that.
or not? You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about that Heartless a little more. So you said that you lost friendships and relationships just being on the road. You know what I'm saying? Being gone.
Nah, just not being on the road. Like, you don't understand, like, the situation with Yo Gotti. Like, we don't even supposed to be doing it. Like, because I'm finna break it down to you.
Yeah.
Like, in Memphis, right? It's two sides, like more than 2 sides. But he from North Memphis. You know what I'm saying? North side of Memphis. I'm from South Memphis. It's a hood in South Memphis. Walking homes, we don't get along, period, with that side. You know what I'm saying? With his side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They, you know what I'm saying, bump heads all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just by me doing that deal, that situation and seeing a bigger vision, they didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't understand like the opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Like it is like
Bigger
for
than
you to
this
make
shit.
millions, like it's bigger than this shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like cut this shit out. Like nobody didn't get killed over this shit anyway. Like leave it alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like let's keep going. You
So
know
they
what I'm
almost
saying?
looking like, yo, you pops. Know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's exactly. Other side, over their ass, nigga. Up, nigga. All right,
my
cool.
nigga,
You
like
go-
I got a chance to
okay.
make $1 million,
It's
bro.
cool.
Like,
You gonna look at me like that? Cool. You want to know my nigga anyway. And then a lot of time, like you want like reason why a nigga like make the moves they make because like like if you was more loyal, if you showed me more loyalty, if you showed me more, you know what I'm saying? Like if you was with me before all that, maybe I would have thought about it and been like, hold up. But really, I just felt like I was already like.
So yeah, we're gonna continue this joint. So we're gonna continue this later on. I pause it. So like, subscribe, follow, hit that like button. MBR till death. Get at me though. Whoa.